And we return to this unfortunate two-parter because furniture is overrated and also the spawn of Satan. Screw you, vases. I really love the physics in this game. Anyway, as promised, this is the second part of what I can only describe as the best and worst part of this game. Namely, we are in Anor Londo. And Londo, first time around, if you are a low-level character and you see these fuckos, the chances are that poo might come out. Fear not, however, because, well, mostly because I am overpowered, and, it's all that matters, right? All that matters. But for serious, if, you've been playing Dark Souls before this, and you reach this point and you see these knights, chances are you might do something messy to your pants. What the hell did I do? Oh yeah, actually, I knew I was gonna do that. Why the hell did I even... Why was I even surprised at all? Anyway, this, before we go off on a tangent, is the spots where you can get one of the coolest armors in the game. Namely, let's see, what is Dragon's Tooth? Ignore that. That is a strength-based weapon. Havel's Great Shield, I think we're building up towards it. Let's see, drumroll, and yes, Havel's Armor, Havel's set. The best boys set in the game, meaning that you will never get staggered by anything ever. However, you are slow as poo-poo. And, oh, you're not fooling me. See how the chain is pointing towards the front? Well, yep, this is how evil Dark Souls can be. Chest death. And considering last time my ramblings were interrupted by... Seriously? Thanks, video game. Thanks, lock-on system. Considering last time my ramblings were interrupted by me being incompetent and ledges being placed conveniently, let's talk about Dark Souls, actually. Dark Souls, as I said in that video, is one of the best games I've played lately. And I already mentioned the freeform exploration, I already mentioned the combat. Actually, I didn't touch upon the exploration at all. Mostly talked about how the combat was meaty and very satisfying, if you could pull it off. The exploration in Dark Souls is great due to the fact that there's no loading screens. And most of the world is intelligently designed as to make every part of every area accessible from, like, there isn't one set path through an area. Once you open doors, for example, I'm going to go ahead and spoil something, this door can lead towards, it's like 2 minutes away from the boss, which is like somewhere over there. That bridge up there, actually. See that fog gate? Well, that's not the fog gate to the boss, but that's the fog gate to the boss area that leads to the fog gate to the actual boss. So everything is very well designed and very interconnected. And that actually produces splendid results, because it all seems very natural. You know, Jesus, that's a lot of dragons. Hey, Silver Knights. Can never go wrong with Silver Knights. Silver Knights are really cool. But yeah, Dark Souls just... the combats, the sense of exploration, the interconnectivity of it all, the seamlessness of the world, and the beauty of it. Like, this is a straight-up console port, and all it took was some mild up-resing, and the game looks as good as it does now. This is 1080p, and somehow, even though it's people say it's a shoddy port, it holds... This is 30 frames per second, people. Like, rock-solid 30 frames per second. It looks like 60. Tell me it does not just look like 60 frames a second. I dare you. So yeah, the game runs splendid. It has rock-solid frame rate, is stable. Basically, this game can do no wrong at all. So... Jeez, wasn't anticipating to do that much damage. That's the other thing. There's no fixed way through the game. You know how in RPGs there's always the best armor set or the greatest sword in the world. Dark Souls has equipment that's slightly better than something else, and especially when it comes to PvP, the case can be made that you know, some equipment setups are better than others. But as a general rule of thumb, for actual PvE, for running through the game, you can pretty much use any armor set you want. Some armor sets will give you negligible, you know, God, what's the word I'm looking for? Advantages. Have negligible advantages over others, but in general, armor sets don't matter that much. You can do whatever the hell you want. I mean, for example, this is what I usually look like. You do not, again, you do not want me to... Okay. I don't know if this is some weird aspect of my psyche where I have to project myself onto a very lean and muscular, huge black guy. I don't know what that says about me, but, the face is what I think truly says something about me. Yeah, I might like to be funny, or I might be a completely insane person with some horrible, horrible tendencies hidden beneath the skin. But I don't, like, I usually do this because I have a ring equipped that reduces weight, so I can just power roll through everything. But for the sake of actual, you know, protection, I roll with the Silver Knight armor. Ironic, because Silver Knights are assholes. But yeah, you pretty much use anything you want. You can use any weapon you want. I mean, again, some weapons are better for some builds, but are not better for any classes. Generally, weapons... Well, it works, like, dexterity weapons work with dexterity. Strength weapons work with strength, and the sword I have right now, the Black Knight sword, is, once upgraded, probably one of the best strength weapons in the game overall. Like, has decent reach, it has decent attack speed, basically has decent everything, and this is New Game Plus. I haven't upgraded it since I started, and god damn. Look at that woman. I haven't upgraded since I started, and it still holds up remarkably well as a great, great weapon. Shields, again, for PvE, not all that important except for some bosses which need, like, just more resistances than others. You can use any shield you want. It's basically a very freeform game where you can do whatever the hell you feel like. Jesus Christ, you did a 360. Hardcore. Come on, bro, backstabs. Yeah, backstab fishing. If you're playing multiplayer, don't do that. Don't. People will dislike you for it quite hard. But yeah, that's it for Dark Souls, I guess. I mean, there's not much to say without me spoiling something mostly major, so I'll just leave it at that. Dark Souls is great. It's gonna continue being great, and let's talk about Dark Souls 2. Now, I'm not the biggest expert when it comes to the actual lore of Dark Souls. I know a bit, but if you want actual, you know, lore information, I suggest you look up Epic Name Bro, whose channel will be in the description. Fuck you, Silver Knight. His channel will be in the description. He has some excellent videos on the actual lore of the game, and that's another thing. There's no quest system. There's no story. So the lore is basically what you make of it. Like, there's no the game doesn't outright tell you what it's about so much as it is hell-bent on you discovering your, sort of forging your own story from this set mythos that the game has. And it's very good with that. There's no cutscene. Well, there's cutscenes in the most rudimentary form. Like, there's no talking. There's talking if you interact with NPCs. And generally the game leaves it to you to discover the story, and I love that. I love games that do that. It's always awesome when games, you know, when games tell a story, when games actually let you discover your own story. And like, that's why I love, again, Fallout New Vegas. That's awesome. So Dark Souls 2. A lot of people were afraid that Dark Souls 2 was gonna go apeshit on us and be all mainstream and stuff. But from what I've seen from the first batch of gameplay that debuted, I think this week, like literally a couple of days ago, I can safely say that Dark Souls 2 is not going to be the casualified, dumbed down version of Dark Souls that everybody was afraid was going to happen. I don't think that's going to be the case at all. Like, Dark Souls 2 looks just as Dark Soulsian as any Souls game before it. I haven't played Demon Souls, for those of you mildly curious, because I wasn't interested in it. But hey, whatever. Important thing is Souls 2 is coming out. Souls 2 looks amazing. It's probably one of the best looking games I've ever seen, ever. And it looks like this is gonna go into speculation. And if you know anything about Dark Souls, you like if you're not into the lore, sorry, but I am. And yeah, I'm gonna go a bit into that. I can't be 100% certain, but from what the actual trailer, what the gameplay showed us, it looks. I think it's gonna be a prequel, cause bonfires, mainly because of bonfires. Where the hell is he? Huh? It's supposed to be a dude here. Never mind. Yeah. Whoa, shit! I knew it. I knew it. Come on. Come on. Come on, here, kitty kitty. My initial strategy to deal with these guys was just close the door and lame it out through the door with a spear. Considering I have a huge fuck-off sword now. Fuck it. I can never tell if these guys are human or not. Anyway, the location that was shown in the trailers, well, rather the save location that was shown during the gameplay reveal, heavily suggested that this takes place before Dark Souls. Because bonfires, for those of you uninitiated, bonfires are not just like gameplay mechanics. They're not there because the gameplay demands them to be. They are there for a reason. Bonfires are what keep the game's Age of Fire going. Oh shit. Probably should have guessed that was gonna happen. Crap. Well, shit. Let's see. Does thou have humanity to spare? No, it does not. Crap. Well, it's okay. It's like I'm gonna take on the boss now. Because that'd be stupid. That was really dumb. Jesus Christ. You weren't so maneuverable first time around. Ha! I beat thou because thou charged like bulls. Yeah, so bonfires, the purpose of bonfires is to keep the Age of Fire going. The Age of Fire is basically the age in which the game takes place, and it's the Age of Gods, if you will. The time when Zeus roamed the land, free and unburdened by, Kratos. I'm getting my mythologies mixed up. But basically, the bonfires are what keep the Age of Fire going. They are the... How can I describe bonfires? Damn. They are the links which keep the lights in the world, or the flame, if you will. There's a... Basically, in Dark Souls, there's light and dark, and there's a huge fire that keeps everything going. For this current age, it's very complicated, but in essence, it cannot take place post Dark Souls because there might be a slight possibility that there are no more bonfires in the world. So, considering they're keeping the bonfire system, probably a prequel. Another probable giveaway that it's a prequel, at sort of the end of that aforementioned trailer, there was a place with a lot of dragons in it, and that multitude of dragons was seemed to be located in a place called the Painted World of, and I'm probably gonna mispronounce it now, Ariamis or Ariamis. I always say Ariamis because Mass Effect. Said it like a German porn star. Jesus Christ, you fuck. They weren't this intelligent in the first time I came around here. There we go. So yeah, it looked like a... It's gonna be stupid when I say it. Just trust me on this. It's a location in Dark Souls that is all evil and ruined, that has a rope bridge that leads to it. So, based on that, the bridge looking similar and the actual location looking very similar, might be... It might be a location that's... God, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just a location in Dark Souls that might be in Dark Souls 2, but not in its ruined state, if that makes sense. Hey, you finally have enough souls to upgrade. Woo. Come after me, Broseph. Should have closed the door on him. I think my sword can reach through the door. Those are my 2 cents. I don't think I'll be able to reach the boss because I, believe it or not, for the first time in weeks, must go out. Like, hardcore go out. And by hardcore, I mean for 10 minutes. But yeah, those are my 2 cents on Dark Souls 2. Nothing looks to be that much easier than the first game, although the difficulty isn't really an issue so much so far as I'm concerned, because again, challenging, not difficult, except some parts which are flat out bullshit. Don't trust game journalists, what is what I'm saying. Okay, trust game journalists, but don't trust game journalists on this one. They suck. They honestly do suck. And they over-dramatize it because it sounds good. Who the hell knows? It's just poetic justice, but poetic justice? I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I better cut this short because I'm going insane. So yeah, thanks for watching. Sorry that you didn't get to see the big fog gate that leads to the boss of this splendid castle, but hey, at least you got to see the inside of the castle itself and how it's full of splendor and wonder. And I really need to research these paintings because they might give away something about the lore, huh? Wow. Whoa, okay. There's some major spoilers in the wall here. Well, anyway, thanks for watching, and we will see you later.